Top of the morning to you guys. Today we have a really fun episode for you. We are building an exhaust for this little donk over here. Not really little, it's a little massive, but this guy came in, he's a cool dude. We built it for him. He wants to go ahead and dyno tune this thing, but he has no intake and he has no exhaust. That's gonna mess with the tune. So we just gotta order in from Stainless Brothers. Their stuff is always just top-notch, beautiful artwork. So I'm gonna go ahead and unbox this. I'm gonna show you guys how we're gonna lay out the exhaust and the intake. Intake's pretty simple, exhaust is a little bit more complicated. And then we'll get to work on this art piece. To show you how good the quality is of this stuff. This is like jewelry for us mechanics. Look at this. A little package, a little wrap, comes with a little jewelry box. Oh my God, I love Stainless Brothers. So I'm gonna start my intake, pretty simple. Get these welded up, get a little warmer with the fingers, get these fingers tingling and mingling, get those beads nice, and then I'm gonna work my way to the exhaust. This is gonna be our X pipe, slash just down the middle, tuck these together, weld it nice. I got my 45s to get me in and out of here to make the space up for how deep this thing is for the headers. And there I have all the V-bands. I have some 90s. I'm gonna make some whistle tips for the exhaust, dump down. Then I have the artwork itself, the mufflers. Oh my goodness, this is just like, just wanna touch it. I love it. Got these badass mufflers. I'm gonna get these going. V-bands get welded to here. Headers gotta come off the donk. Weld V-bands to that. And then we're cooking and jiving.
I got to get these headers off so Donnie can weld up the V-band flanges. Should be a pretty quick little process since they're pretty much set up for this car, so should be pretty quick. Go ahead and get these out of here and get Donnie on welding up the V-bands. Too bad now that the headers are out. Get them over to Donnie. Check over the gaskets. Need to make sure that we don't need to order any more. Yank that O2 sensor out. He can get those flanges welded up. Yeah, buddy.
All right, Shannon ripped off the header, so now I'm gonna go ahead and put these nice V-bands on. It's gonna be a way to tie our exhaust in, but I need a foundation, so I'm gonna go ahead and weld these onto the headers. They're all prepped. So let's get these on and we can actually put these back in and I can get the tackle in the exhaust. Keep on rocking and rolling. This is going to be a cool piece to make. I'm going to slice this right down the middle like I said, weld this all together, and then from there I'll have the depth, and then these will get me in and out of there with our tube down there, which I haven't unpacked yet, and that will get my distance to and from the headers. So let's stop talking, let's start mingling, let's start jingling, let's cut this thing up. I'm working on the merge pipe. You guys saw that I cut it. I got it all sanded down. I have the fitment really tight, like a bun this together. So I'm gonna clean it all up. And you can see in there, it looks really good. I won't have to do that much trimming, but I'm gonna take this apart now and go ahead and clean up the inside of this. Any schmeg that I have hanging out. Then we'll get this tacked up. I wanna do this first because I wanna get this set, and I can tell the width, because really the headers are gonna come out and tie into this. So I need to figure out the width of this on the table once I get the headers installed. So it's good to get this welded up, then I can start moving forward, kind of work my way backwards. But I like the way this fitment is. It's nice and tight, and I'm just gonna weld her up. Laser set up, I got everything indexed. I had a little index here with my bracket that I made, so I know the true center of this. So now we got the X pipe centered, we got this all set. I can start physically building this thing and finish this. Now you guys might ask, man, that kid Don uses a lot of lasers. Because honestly, I don't really trust these, and somewhere between here and here, there's a large room for discrepancy when it comes to measuring. So I bring out the laser because the laser does not lie. I can't mess up with this, and I can't mess up with this. So yeah, you're gonna see me use a lot of those because when it comes to breaking out the ruler and doing all this, I'm usually 1/8 inch off somewhere every time. So. It's coming together. I just got one more filler piece to tie in and it's all done. The next thought that I had was I was gonna do a cool bracket to tie this together and stitch it in here, keep this from flexing. But the owner of the car actually has a really cool logo that he uses in all his jewelry, so I wanted to get that and format into the QCAD so the bracket has his initials in it. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk to the editor-in-chief over here, see if he can take his logo, take it out and draw the lines and give it to me, and I'll put it in the CAD machine and convert that to G-code. Let's go see what Christian's doing. He never gets on camera, so we'll get this handsome man in. Hello? He did not seem very enthused.
I was so confused.
All right, so I want to get his logo, the one that you guys have. So there's some way that you can trace it out and then give me that line format.
Okay.
Then I'll put that into QCAD and that will transfer it over into G-code. So don't worry about G-code. I think there's a way just to get the lines and expel them.
Gotcha. I'll figure it out.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, buddy. You're such a cutie.
Alright guys, so with some Photoshop and Illustrator, I got it all handled and cut out. Now it's ready for the CNC machine.
Now that we have Shank's profile in here, Christian did a good job of converting it over to a DXF file, which took us a little while. We had to actually trace it out. But as you see, this is my line. I want to do 4 inches long. So I'm going to keep on scaling this down. Let's go scale. Let's go negative. Let's get it over here. Let's go 0.5, half of that. All right, so we're getting there. We got the new stainless loaded up. Let's go cut this logo. It's about to be welded up. I finished the bracket for Shank. This has his logo that he puts on his t-shirts and stuff, so we got it all cut out. That actually looks pretty sick. I'm gonna be welding this in. But then I had a thought. We made his intake tube, which is all done. I want to do something special for him. I'm gonna do something on the inside here, right here, and just wrap around his tube. So I actually scaled the logo itself a little bit smaller, and I chopped off the bracket, and I used these nubs, which I'm gonna bend down to make it 3D. And what I came up with was this. It's really just the same thing, but without the outside bracket. And then I scaled a little bit to make it nice for his intake tube. And then I'm gonna contour it around the tube so you can see it. So I think once I get that done and polished, I can finally start welding this whole thing together and just give him a really nice piece that's customized to our buddy over here. So I hope you like this, Shank. Piece here. I'm gonna go ahead and contour it for him, wrap it around the tube, and tack it on. You know, we bought this nice stainless, but it seems like we can't really cut it, keep it polished. It kind of gets a little weird on the machine, so I gotta go ahead and touch this back up, take all the slag off, and polish it back up. But we tried. All right, so we have the intake, and now we have our little special treat. This is for our boy here, his name's Shank. So now we have our custom emblem all polished up. We're gonna take it on. Let's get to it. All right, one part of the detail shot's done. Let's get it installed. All right, so the intake's done. We went a little overboard with him again on this thing and we added his emblem onto it, but I just really wanted to know how much we love him. So now this is done, we can go down to underneath the car and start building the exhaust. X-pipe is done. I tell you the strangest thing, this laser will not turn off. Turn it off, and you probably see it in the videos, it comes on about 20 seconds later. I've tried everything. I think it's like haunted. It just wants to hang out while I weld. So all right, now I gotta go attach this, the down pipes, and we're gonna try to get the whole thing in. And then I'll weld it all up, and we will move on to the next objective. All right, so we have our custom 3-inch X-pipe full exhaust for Shank's car. It's all welded up. Now it's time to just go hoist this thing in, bolt it all up, and then we'll fire it up.
No, we gotta finish this.
Oh, yes! I forgot our nice little bedazzled with jewelry. This is gonna go right here, then she's complete. So let me rephrase that. I am going to TIG this on, and then we're gonna hoist and bolt her all up, and I think it came out all right.
Well, that's good. Let's get her done.
Chamon.
You filming? Yep. Good?
Let me get my cutters. I don't know where they went. What could be follow? Down to the hobby shop for a $7,000 exhaust. You tired of your Pep Boy X-pipes? Have Donnie weld you one. It only takes him 46 hours. At the finish line here, now that we got the exhaust done, I just have to go ahead and make 2 brackets and then make my exhaust tips. So this is the final piece and we can start ripping on this thing. So I had a cool idea. There's 2 bolt holes here and then 2 bolt holes over there for the old exhaust bracket. I'm gonna go ahead and use these cool little billet clamps. They're pretty affordable. I'm gonna go ahead and put these on, and then from there I'm gonna use those bolt holes, make a bracket, and then tie another bracket off it so I don't have to weld anything to the chassis. Before I mount my new brackets and design this one, I want to get this finished. So this is going to be my whistling tip. So instead of just dumping down like this, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of a curve and angle to it, so it looks a little bit more exotic. So let's go ahead and mark this how I'm going to cut it. I'll design on the table, and then we'll cut this out. Got the tips all done. I gotta go ahead and weld all this. I decided to add a V-band flange to the muffler. That way later on in life, if he ever wants to run tubes over the rear end for a true rear exit, or if he wants to do some sort of a cool tube coming out the side, we can always change it depending on how he likes as he drives the car. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this welded up. Now that I got my billet brackets in, I need to go ahead and measure off the frame. So what I'm gonna do is take my old original bolts for the old hanger, measure my width, drop it down, and then get my hole directly in the middle of that hole. So this is gonna kind of hang over and lob down. It'll be a 2-piece bracket for each one. Each one has different measurements, so I'll go ahead and take those now. I'll cut on the plasma, and I got myself a custom hanger. Frame bracket, we got our drop down tab, frame bracket, drop down tab. Let's go ahead and prep these up, weld them in, and then we're that much closer to getting this exhaust done. I don't know if I ever told you guys, not only do I weld and fabricate, but I paint. I went to paintschool.com for a 9-year degree, as long as going to Juilliard for my acting. So I wanted to show you this little paint job that I did. I mixed the paint myself. I sprayed it in a booth that I designed and built by bare hands. I mixed this with some couple ingredients, some candy apple reds and pinks to make this really cool black satin color. It was really expensive. Hold on, just let me... So as I was saying, I did this all by myself. I'm a paint master. Check it out. Hope you like it. Come to me for if you need any... Yeah, who am I kidding? All right, it is finally done. The brackets are bolted in, everything's tied together between the Ticon pieces and these stainless bro mufflers. This thing came out incredible. To be honest with you, our customer's pretty badass, so we went a little over the top for him. But I think it came out awesome. And I thank you guys for tuning in and checking this out. You guys got to see me to sweat on this one a little bit. But as for that, let's see what this thing sounds like. I can't wait to hear what these stainless bro mufflers rocking and rolling sound like, so let's get to it.
I hope you're happy, Shank.
The rest of it is just what I think looks visually appealing. So you're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it, but I'm gonna love it or I'm gonna hate it. Who knows? It's a gamble. It's a cool camera angle. I had a cool idea. Oh, come on. Corey, what happened?
I don't know, Shannon was a poos and grabbed it with the acetone and kind of made it one with the...
So we made this beautiful artistic piece, and then Shannon's like, oh, I'm just gonna throw a wrench in the whole mix, and puts a yellow rag on top of the burning hot spot. It's a little curmudgeon. A little curmudgeon. Nobody polished like me. I went to polish in school.
You did?
After high school, yeah, it was a 9-month degree. And I was always confused because it's the back of this homeless guy house, which wasn't a house, it was a box under a bridge. I was really confused. I used to show up, he showed me how to polish things. I learned a lot from him. Thank you, Timmy. Timmy Bolhart. That was his name, Timmy Bolhart.
Right, to get ready, and it's like you with the camera. Yeah, we're ready to film, and 45 minutes later you got a fucking speaker connected, microphone.
I need my dikes.
See what I mean? Yeah. I need this, I need that, I need this, I need that. I'm a in a second. I'm seriously just sitting here holding this?
Yeah. We love the customers. Oh, fuck. So the biggest thing for this now is we have to stop this. Oh,